Hi, I'm Martin Eccles. I'm Executive Butcher with AHTB, and today we're going to do a butchery demonstration using a topside. So this is from the hindquarter. Essentially, it's what you would perhaps come from the round. You probably know it more as the round. There's three muscles that sit in that. So this is the top side. This is on the inside. We have the silver side on the outside, and then we have the knuckle that runs down the front of it. So we're going to start on with this one here. So we'll turn the whole muscle over. And if we look around this sort of area here, we can see some silver skin, some connective tissues. We're going to just gently bring the knife in, and it will expose the silver skin. It naturally follows into the seam. I will just bring this round here. We brought it down around here, and now actually we're starting to to hit into this main seam here. So we'll just start it. I just lift here, and it naturally opens up this seam along here. So follow it through, and then eventually it just runs out into where the fat is. And as you can see, we're actually hitting that seam there. We're not actually damaging the main muscle. So as you can see there, we've removed the cap. With this, I would utilise certain muscles. This one here is a very tender muscle that sits here. We'll take that out. That has got a gristle in it. We'll trim that out. I would use that for a stir fry. Just like we did with the cap muscle, if we look here, this here is a line there, and that is my indication for my natural seam that I need to follow. As you can see, a nice round shape on a muscle like that needs to be squared off at the front. We just check if there's anything that needs trimming away. Just get that remaining piece there. What I can do now, just take the front off, and then we can cut some nice little, what we call tender top steaks. So that's the tender top muscle. If we then look at the main muscle that's left, as you can see, it's like a nice shape. But again, around this area, there's some silver skins and some membranes that need to be removed. So we'll do that. So we'll take this away. The fat that sits on there, this one isn't as so much so we'll leave that as it is. And what I want to do now to it, we look at this muscle, and then I'm going to cut it into three. Put the knife in. Have one, and then we'll split this one down again, two. And then three. So we'll put these two to one side, and we'll use the middle one. So now got a nice uniform shape. So it's a nice and square shape. It's not got the depth of it isn't great. And so what I can do is get a bit of added basting fat. Cut that one in half. And then I can put this onto here. I can add this onto here like this. We'll square the end off, and then we'll secure this with some roasting bands. So these are an elastic roasting band. We've banded the joint. So this one here is probably about 1.5 kilos, so just over three and a bit pound in weight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into 3 equal joints. So one there, 2 there, and then we'll put them onto a tray. So there we have top side mini joints.
Hello, my name's Denise Spencer-Walker, and the recipe I'll be doing today is featuring a new cut called Topside Mini Roast, and the recipe is a topside mini roast with horseradish. Beef can play an important part of a balanced diet and naturally provides 8 vitamins and minerals that contribute towards good health and well-being. Niacin, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, zinc, iron, potassium and phosphorus. Vitamin B12 is not found naturally in foods of plant origin. Mini roasts are a fairly new cut. They're really versatile because they serve 2 to 3 people. So it's really good for if you've got a really small household, but you want a really nice cut of meat, a really nice beef roasting joint. And what I'll be doing is I'll be roasting it. It's a really good roasting joint because it roasts in under an hour. The oven's actually on at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a really simple recipe and you only have a few ingredients, but the flavour is superb. We've got 2 teaspoons of runny honey. Just a clear honey will do. It doesn't have to be a fancy honey. And that just adds a bit of sweetness to the recipe. So to my 2 teaspoons of clear honey, I've got 1 lemon, which is just the zest of 1 lemon. 2 teaspoons of horseradish sauce. I'm hoping that you're familiar with horseradish sauce, but traditionally, us Brits, we have our roast beef with horseradish sauce. So to the horseradish sauce, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of just plain oil. What you can do this in advance as well. You can just make it up in the morning and pop it in the fridge, and it'd be good to go when you come home from work. Brush the mixture over the top side joint. But what I want to do is I want to score the fat. And when I score the fat, it just enables the flavours to mingle into the actual joint. So with a sharp knife, you just make a couple of incisions, and that will impart a lot of the flavour of the actual marinade mix. This joint, I'm just going to season a little bit with a bit of salt and pepper. So it goes into a small roasting tray lined with foil. So you just place the joint on the rack in the roasting tin, and then all you do is you brush the mixture all over the joint, like so. Really, really easy. If you want to mix things up a little bit, you can add fresh herbs to it. You can even just, instead of the horseradish, you can use mustard, grain mustard. So you don't have to stick to these flavours, but we just find that the horseradish complements beef so much, we just thought, you know, why break the habit of a lifetime? You just brush everything over the joint like so. So that goes in for 40 to 50 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's a mini roasting joint that I prepared earlier, and I've actually set it aside to rest for about 20 minutes. The reason being is that you need the muscles to relax, because during the cooking process, they actually tense up when they're in the oven. And when it actually comes out, you need that time for the muscles to relax in order for the meat juices to seep back into the joint to make it easy to carve, and the actual joint will be succulent and juicy. So I'm going to actually just cut this up. Hopefully it should be medium. I know it will be medium because I tested the internal temperature. It was 145 degrees Fahrenheit. I think you can see some elasticated meat bands, which is used to actually support the fat layer that's on the top of the joint. You need to remove those. So there we have. And to serve this top side joint, I'm going to slice it really thinly, but I'm going to serve it with a salad, grained salad, which is rather unusual but really delicious. All I'm going to do is just thinly slice the joint. And you can see that it's lovely and pink. A little bit of fat for flavour. So there we have delicious, unctuous slices of roast beef. I mean, what more could you want? Absolutely lovely. If you don't like your beef this pink, you can leave it for a little bit longer in the oven. It's entirely up to you in how you like to serve your beef. But we think, you know, medium is probably the best way to serve this lovely versatile cut of beef. So there we have Topside mini roast with horseradish.